as a goat because they used the goat as a scapegoat to represent the devil. There's nothing in the Bible that describes the symbol of the devil. What is the devil? Biblically, they never describe what the devil looks like. So the scapegoat becomes the symbol of what's in, is it Aquarius? No, is it Aquarius? No, not Aquarius. As a goat because they used the goat as a scapegoat to represent the devil. There's nothing in the Bible that describes the symbol of the devil. What is the devil? Biblically, they never describe what the devil looks like. So the scapegoat becomes the symbol of what's in, is it Aquarius? No, is it Aquarius? No, not Aquarius.
Capricorn?
Capricorn becomes the scapegoat for the symbolism of the devil because that is the planetary ruler of Saturn.
I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Ha Rakat Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure until the end. Shalom wa abab ball. So you got to beware of false prophets in these last days. And you have Donut Factory, which I watch his show because he brings out news articles. But he'll bring on false prophets like this guy here, Annie Osariu. I don't know how to pronounce his African name. But these are false prophets, all right, that are established and paid. And what they do is they push lies, just like you heard this man on the right, Annie Osariu 777. He's the dark-skinned man. He said that the Bible doesn't describe the devil. Well, the devil is described in the Bible. All right. And he was described as being the so-called Caucasian, the red man that deceived the whole earth, and that he would do these things such as eat blood, which the so-called white race, they like to eat blood. They like to hunt. Their forefather Esau, which his name was changed to Edom because he ate bloody meat. He was a man of the field. And he didn't care about his part in the Lord's inheritance, which that's why they like to call themselves atheists. All right. The Bible clearly describes the so-called white race as the red devil the Bible speaks of. And you got false prophets like this man on the right, once again, the dark-skinned man, which most likely is an Israelite. As I watch this show, you know, they're talking about Illuminati rituals. And, you know, he's got knowledge, but not enough for salvation. All right, because he talks about going into verse after verse after verse earlier in this interview. But then he says this stupid shit at the end that the Bible doesn't describe the devil. So here's this page, Annie Osariu. All right. But you can see he's all mixed up with all this stuff that's in his description. All right. But I guarantee he goes back to the thinking that he's an African. All right. But he lied and said that the Bible doesn't describe the devil. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some scripture to prove that the devil is described in the Bible. All right. Revelation 20, verse 1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, which Yahweh Shai, he took the ability of this devil to rule, and he became a caveman. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, which bound him 1,000 years, which there was 1,000 years called the Dark Ages. All right. And even in the Western hemisphere of the earth, they called it 1,000 years of peace. And what it was the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of, Satan, the adversary. All right. He was removed from ability of deceiving the nations. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, which they were Neanderthals, and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more, which they literally didn't even speak. They were like grunting animals for the most part, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. But you have the Renaissance, the rebirth of the so-called white race. All right? And this is a sign of who that so-called white man was. All right? They were made into cavemen in the Dark Ages. Now, not every Edomite was a caveman, but they resort to this, as you see them today, you know, in the streets, they become like cave people. They start sleeping under the trees. It says that in Job 30. It tells you about that the Lord didn't, Job, which was a man of the Lord, he didn't even want these devils by his dogs, because we know that they like to sleep with animals. And they still do this thing today. It says in Job 30, verse 1, but now they are that are younger than I have me in derision. So they're talking shit, and they're younger, meaning they're less than us. Okay, they're the elder, being Esau was the elder brother to Jacob, but they came out of Isaac. All right, they came out of Adam. So the dark skin are the first, and then the Edomite came later. Okay, the loss of pigment of the skin color started with Cain when he killed his brother Abel, and the Bible tells you of reincarnation. All right, and when you're reincarnated, you come back to the same lineage as your forefather. So Esau, being born with a lack of color in his skin, goes back to him being that Cain, all right, and back to that serpent which deceived Eve in the Garden of Eden, all right. So it says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock, all right. So these people are so nasty. If you leave them around your dog, they're going to be tongue kissing the dog in the mouth. But, you know, they're going to eventually get the dog to do sexual acts. It says, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished, which they aged terrible, all right, because of the lack of the melanin. They aged terrible. Most of their women are real ugly by the age of 30. They're weak, right? They're not good workers. They're liars. They're deceivers. They're thieves. It says, for want and famine, they were solitary, meaning they lived in the wild, in the wilderness. Fleeing into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat, which that's why they were able to survive, because they were getting their nutrients through these roots. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. See, so they didn't. Nobody wanted them around. All right, and really that was all the way up to the time of the Rothschilds. All right, they weren't even allowed to buy land. All right, but then eventually they weaseled their way in like a cunning serpent, And they moved up into the ranks with money and power, and they eventually took over through the generations, which the Lord allowed them to rise so that he could destroy them. All right? It says, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And that's why they love to go to the mountains, go into the wilderness, is that's a part of their nature, but not as natural men. They go in there to destroy, to molest, to violate, to extinct, to pollute. All right, this is why, because they're fugitives and vagabonds. It says, among the bushes they bewrayed under the needles, they were gathered together. They were children of fools, sons of fools, yea, sons of base men. They were viler than the earth. So they do some vile ass shit. They're nasty, gross people. That's why you think they're pumping your sewer water right back into your drinking water. Because they're sons of fools. They're base men, the most vilest, disgusting creatures on earth. They were viler than the earth, worse than the filth of the animals. The Edomite is worse. The most gross, disgusting creature on earth has a purpose. Esau, he was created just to destroy, so he's worse. See? And then he does shit that is an abomination. He has no morale, no integrity. That's why the world is nasty. It's backwards, right? And horrible things happen because of the wicked ruling. They are lame. All right, they're lame. Lame as hell. Isaiah 3, verse 11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, the Israelites, children are their oppressors. So these base men rule over us. And women, what do? Rule over them. They set up women over themselves, like fools. O my people, they which led thee caused thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths, which they're teaching Jake to cut off their privates, change their privates, right? Not to believe in the Most High, right? They're teaching all kinds of abominations to the Israelites. So the Lord is going to stand, it says in 13, Yahweh standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. Yahweh will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, his elect men, and the princes thereof, for ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your house. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces, and grind the faces of the poor, saith Yahweh's power of hosts. So he's gonna pay you back. He's gonna avenge us. All right, and he's gonna punish you Edomites with a sword destruction. With that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha, Rakah Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone while, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abababal.